I was born at Morley Hall, which was the maternity home for Morley, 27th of February 1933. I started work at 14 at Gilchrist Brothers in Leeds. They were plate makers for the printing trade. Well, I literally put my hat and coat on one day in the darkroom and I said, when you've got this scanner right, I'll come back. And I never went back. So I started up my own building and joinery firm. And I did jobbing, building, jobbing, joinery all around the district. And eventually I built this house and then I retired. We had 47 mills or something like that, and most of them, a lot of them were demolished or turned into flats. I mean, there's blocks of flats in Morley, Melbourne mills and different mills. It's all right. It's nice to live here. I mean, I've always lived here, and I want to live here the rest of my time, but it doesn't seem the place that it was. I started this collection, it will be 55 years ago. I was given some photographs of a relative in the First World War, and people at the chapel, the ladies group there, they asked me if I could go give a talk. So I thought, oh, I'll better get a few more pictures. So I went knocking on doors, and I got quite a lot. I like to solve a mystery if I can. And about 18 months ago now, a friend of mine dug up with a metal detector, found with a metal detector, these Anglo-Saxon artifacts. And they're all classed as garment fittings, pins and things like that they would have used in those times. But they date back to 400. We had a man who was the Yorkshire and Lancashire Neur and Spell champion. Well, Neur and Spell, it's what they used to term as poor man's golf. And this is the bat that they would use, which is just a block of wood. So that's the spell, and the neur is a pot, like a pot marble. The pot rests in there like that.
Balanced. Okay.
Yeah. And then you have a fine piece of cotton that goes down to that lower arm, and it stops it blowing about in the wind.
I see.
And then you just give it a mighty belt, and you see how far it'll go. They would have maybe 20 men all at the bottom of the field.
Yeah.
And they're just at the spot where it went, and but that's it. So that's a potty. Before Morley had a fire brigade, you insured your house for fire with a company. And that's a fire plate, and you stuck that on your house.
Okay.
And the insurance company owned the fire brigade, and if you didn't have their plaque on your house, they wouldn't put the fire out. I had hoped that they would want them in Morley and keep them in Morley, but after 8 years we still haven't got an archive in Morley. Anywhere that we could, you know, form a museum. I mean, there's one here, and it's a little village in South Yorkshire, and they've got a museum, and it's just a corner shop, and they have a coffee shop there, and you know, if they can do it, why can't we do it?